Hello everyone, Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am an avid paper crafter from Sydney, Australia. Thank you all so much for joining me. Today I'm going to make a flat shaker card. Not a unique idea, I've seen it around the traps on the internet, so I thought it would be a good idea for me to attempt one. I've never attempted one before, so I thought why not give it a go. Today I'll be using the Stampin' Up! Merry Christmas to All stamp set. The Merry Christmas Thinlits dies or dies. I love the scripty font on these, and I'm using the Detailed Deer dies as well, but I'm using this one over here. And so we'll get started. I'm going to be using a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, which is half an A4 and then scored in half again. Now you can use any card base you wish. There's no right or wrong, so this is a very versatile format, so you can use it from wherever you are in the world. So I'm just burnishing the score line that I have previously done. I prepare usually certain things off camera, but on the whole you see things from start to finish. I've got a scrap piece of real red cardstock from Stampin' Up! And I've also got a piece of just regular Whisper White cardstock, which is about half an inch shorter than the card base. And I've just got that to the front. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to apologise if you're hearing noises in the background, banging, machinery, etc. It's because I have a couple of buildings being built directly across the road from me. So that's the noises you will hear in the background for the next foreseeable month, for the next few months, and I apologise in advance if this is bothering you, but I can't help it. I'm so sorry. So what we're going to be doing is a little bit of die cutting. I'm going to grab my Merry Christmas dies, and I'm just going to grab the Merry, and I'm going to use this on the real red cardstock, so I'm going to use a bit of painter's tape just to attach that on. And then on the Whisper White panel, I'm going to use the Detailed Deer dies, and I'm going to use this deer, and I'm going to put that one up here. And I'll just grab some painter's tape to just secure it in place, so when I move it in the die cutting machine it won't go off everywhere. So I like to have that angled like that. Alright, so I'll just grab my Big Shot and we'll die cut these at the same time. Out nicely. Keep that up there. So that turned out really lovely, and there's a bit there that didn't come out. Alright, beautiful. Okay, so with this I'm going to grab my stamp positioning tool, and today I'm using my Tim Holtz one because I like it, and if I have it I should use it, so I'm going to be using it. So at the bottom down here I'm going to use the Christmas sentiment, that one over there. So I'll take that off. And I'll position that right down the bottom. I have a little foam sheet. I've explained it in a video that I did last year. I have a little foam sheet because when I use photopolymers with this platform, they don't always turn out well for some reason, and sometimes the cushioning really helps. So what I'm going to do is just position the Christmas nice and straight. So I hope you don't see any hairs in the review. Yeah, let's see. I want it right down the bottom. Make sure it's nice and straight. Oops. Make sure it's really nice and straight. Okay. And I like the grid on the Tim Holtz one because I can see it really well. It's deep, you know, it's deeply etched in. So sorry, I mixed up my words. All right, so I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black with this. So I'm just inking it up. And just stamping that there. And I think that turned out well. So I'll take that away. Just clean that up. I'll just take that away. All right, so I'll bring this back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a piece of transparency. So I've got a piece here that is 3.5 by 3 3/4, and what I'll do is I'll turn that over, and on the back I'm going to stick that down. So I'm just going to add some tear and tape, and I will stick that down. So this is, as I said, going to be a flat, I'll do it this way for the time being. I'm going to do a flat shaker card. So that means that there's no foam tape or dimensional adhesive in any way. It's going to be completely flat. Actually, I'll do that this way. Yep. So I'm just adding that to the bottom for the time being. Oops. Now this is where it gets tricky because the top part here, oh perfect, okay. So I'll just grab my craft pick and I'm going to get rid of the adhesive. And it's got to be a nice strong one, so I think tear and tape or that red line adhesive will be really good for this, just to keep everything in line. It's not coming down. Oops. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one of these sheets right down. Actually, it needs to be bigger. Yeah, it needs to be bigger. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to readjust the measurements on this and I'll be back. So I readjusted. I cut some new transparency sheets. So you need 2 4x4 square pieces, okay? So you just pop the transparency over the top on this one, like that. Okay, there will be a bit sticking out, but we will adjust that afterwards. So that's your window there. Then I've got some, I have some, a variety of sequins. So I'm using red ones from this packet. I got this from Right Art and Craft a long time ago, and it's been sitting in my collection for a little while. So I'm just going to cut off there and put some in the middle here. Maybe I'll cut a bit more to open it up a bit more. Yeah, that's the way. And these aren't overly dimensional in any way, but just spread them around where the image is. Just a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to add some more tear and tape. So what I'll try and do as well is to concentrate some just around the image so they don't move around too much. So we'll go at a diagonal. Oops. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So, but it's all worth it. You can even put like glitter in here and things like that. So I'm going to just put some just close to the image to keep it contained. The sticky part. So now I'm just going to spread it around and make it as flat as I can, but it's going to work out all right. So basically what you've done is you've put a seal around the image so that your sequins or glitter or little beads or whatever can stay put and not come out and leak, and come out everywhere. So now I'm going to grab my transparency sheet and I'm going to, whoops, bit of static there. And I'm just going to now put it over the top and press it down, especially around the image to make sure it's nice, as flat as possible. And so now it looks like that. And they do kind of shake, which is really cool. I like that. Okay, and so now I'm just going to grab my snips and I'm just going to trim along the edges. So I'll just hold on a second. I'm just going to grab my non-stick scissors and I'll be back. Just grab some non-stick scissors because I don't want to gum up my nice other scissors, so I use my non-sticks for this adhesive stuff to come off. It's quite strong, so what I'm doing now is I'm just trimming off the excess transparency sheet. As you can see already, it's kind of gumming up. So luckily I didn't use it on my regular scissors. Good stuff. All right, now let's see if I have any more to trim off. Yes, I do. There's a bit more here that needs to come off. very hard to see with the transparency. I can't see very well. There's more here. All right, so now I've finished trimming off the excess little pieces of transparency. So it will look like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this down, and I will add some more tear and tape on the edges because it's got a plastic transparency edge. It needs to adhere properly. So I'll do that on here. So basically it's the same as a regular shaker card. The only difference is that you do not add the foam tape. Instead you just use your double-sided tape or your, you know, tear and tape, whatever you've got. So that's the only difference, and it will mail flat for you, so that's really cool. So just grab that. Take off the backing. It's really simple. But just when you take off your backings, these will stick. But as you can see, there's a seal right around the image, so you should be okay. And oops, all right. They will not come out. Just make sure I double that over so it's not over the edge there. And I'll add some down here as well. Just get that done. Okay. So just be careful when you put this, because once it sticks down, it sticks down. It's really, really strong adhesive, which is why I always prefer liquid glue. And now I've stuck that right down. So as you can see, it's really flat. And it still shakes, isn't that cool? Love that. So now I'm going to grab my Mary, and I'm just going to glue that down with some liquid glue. So this is just a different idea. Something a little different and easy to mail too, so it's pretty cool. And you can do this any way you like as well, like with any kind of die cuts or what have you. So I'll stick that here and there. And that's my finished card for today. Isn't that cool? I hope you all like it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to just leave me a comment below this video, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. So I hope you like this idea of a flat shaker card. I saw this around from other card makers on YouTube, and I thought it was a wonderful idea, and I really like that idea of it being able to shake without the bulk, so it's easy to mail off. So hope you give this a go too and have some fun with it. Take care everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.